Right guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another video. In this one I'm just going to be showing you how to make a simple alignment tool for your disc brake calipers. So let's go ahead, let's get stuck into it. Right, so the first step in making this gauge for your calipers, you need a piece of plastic like so. So this is, as you can see, it's about 0.5 of a millimetre thick. And you want hard plastic like this. Obviously you don't want anything that's going to bend up really easy. This is stiff enough, but it's thin enough. So like I say, it's about 0.5 of a millimetre thick. So then you can find this on any plastic, thin plastic packaging basically. Lids of things, plastic lids, things like that. Now, or you can buy it in sheets, but like I said, you can recycle it off of a lot of household items. And then what you want to do is just mark out, as you see there, I've marked out a gauge. Now that's 8 centimetres by 3 centimetres across. And then, being as it's thin plastic, all you need to do then is just get yourself a pair of scissors and then just cut that out. So cut that out like that. And it's simply a case of cut one out, then all I'll do is draw around that. Again, lay it on there, draw around it, and then I'll cut another one out. Right, so now we've got two pieces like that, and now what I'm going to do is I'll lay that on a hard surface and then I'll rub down an area just about that wide at the end on either side. I'll just rub that down to take off the blunt edge off of there, because I mean that's a square edge, blunt edge. You want to just make it more chamfered so it's more of a point on there. So I'll just rub that down with some sandpaper. So there we have the two pieces of plastic there. Now what I've done, like I said, is I've just rubbed down from about there down on either side of each one. You can see the scratch marks on it maybe, with some sandpaper. So this is this is P80 sandpaper, so 80 grit sandpaper, so it's quite coarse. I've rubbed that down like that, so it puts more of a point on it, so as it can go in behind the pad easier to initially put it in. And what it's doing is basically, I've just got a caliper here. This works on all different types of caliper, doesn't matter what it is. What that's doing is effectively, some calipers you can go in from the side, like from the top, or underneath and up in like that, and then it just goes in between the pad and the rotor. So normally you can get one in either side of the disc and the pad. That's just an example to show you on a caliper, on a post mount caliper like that. You just slide it in between. Now if you're having difficulty getting the plastic in anywhere, you don't necessarily have to have it like that sort of size. That's just to add a bit of strength and to get your hand onto it when it goes in. But you can cut that down slightly if you want to. If you find it difficult to put it in, that's just an example, you can cut that down. Right, so here we have a Shimano flat mount caliper. As you see, this just happens to be Dura-Ace 9170, but it wouldn't matter if it's a 105 7070 or a Ultegra 8070 or even Tiagra 4770 or any of the GRX, the flat mount calipers, the 810 or a 400 GRX. Now if you've got a situation where you've got a disc rubbing like that, and what you would normally do when you're doing these is you just slacken off the two mounting bolts a couple of turns like that, so the caliper's loose, and then as you can hear, then you just apply the brake a few times, hold the brake on, and then pinch up your mounting bolts like that, then let the brake off. and as you can hear, it's still doing it. Now you do that, what I've just done there, certain times when you're doing it, that will work fine. There's no need to do anything else. You could do that and it will work okay. Now as you see, I've just done that, and as you can hear, it's binding still slightly. So what I'll do is I'll use the 2 pieces of plastic like I showed, and I'll show you how to do that. So I'll slacken the matting bolts off again, like that, a couple of turns again so the caliper's slightly loose, and then what we do is with your piece of plastic with the chamfered edge first is push that in behind the pad. You can see it up in there, it just goes in behind the pad like that, and get your other one this side and do the same thing again. These are brand new pads in here, so if you've got used pads you probably get them in even easier. Like I said, these are new pads, so we push that in there like that, so that's them both in. Now we just tighten down the bolts, like so, and we pull out the plastic from either side. And there you go. I'll snug them down, I'll pull that out, I'll spin the wheel, and there you go. So I thought I'd do it live, and I'll do it every time live so you can see and you can hear. There's no noise from it. I'll brake as well a few times. Stick the piece of plastic in again, put that in, nip the bolts up, like so, and just pull the plastic out. Right, so there you see it working on a variety of different calipers. Now some calipers you can get away with just using one of the gauges behind the pad, and other calipers you're better off putting the 2 in, one either side, so it just depends. Just have a play around with it and see how it works for you. Also, if your disc brake rotor itself is out of true, then there's no way you're going to stop the brakes rubbing, so make sure that the rotor's true. And also check that your wheel bearings don't need replacing and they're in perfect working order, because at the end of the day the disc itself is attached to the wheel, so if the wheel bearings are slightly out then the disc will be as well, so just bear that in mind. So everything's got to be in perfect condition, and then like I say, the gauges will work spot on and you won't have any problem with them. So hope you found the video helpful. If you did, remember to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for more cycle related content. Till next one, ride safe and I'll see you then.